Greetings, pimp. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you want to skip ahead to me ranting about how Nioh 2 is just like Nam, I put in chapters. But if you want to know the truth, if you want to know the real developer behind Nioh 2, allegedly, keep listening, because the truth cannon is firing starting now. And before we begin, my source on all of this information is Trust Me, Bro. In August 1951, the CIA started a program called Project Artichoke, a continuation of the work we feared the Reds were doing and we knew the Schnitzelheimans were doing during World War II. And how did we know, you may ask? Well, we hired the German scientists that did it. Anyways, Project Artichoke. As in, can we make Artie choke that guy over there involuntarily because we doped him up on enough cocaine to see the future? The answer? I'm not sure. But they did discover during this project that LSD is one hell of a drug, which spawned a new program 2 years later called MK Ultra. Whereas Artichoke was more focused on creating unwitting assassins, MK Ultra was still focused on that, but also using drugs and other tactics to do all kinds of mind control. Also turning cats into microphones, and turning sharks into RC killing machines, but most importantly, still mind control. However, the key factor that really twisted people's noodle was that they would test their innovative methods on American citizens without them even knowing. You come into the doctor feeling a little down? Shut up, schizo. How about we put you into a coma and shock you a little bit to see how it changes your brain? Looking for some comfort from the ladies of the night? We've all been there, pimp. How about they dose you with LSD as some fat CIA agent observes you through the one-way mirror? Suffered head trauma? Subscribe to Fleekazoid. They drove people insane, they melted some people's brains, and they got a lot of people really fucking high on drugs. Teddy Boy here allegedly spent 200 hours being tested on in a purposefully brutalizing psychological experiment, which later led him to become a mailman or something. I don't know. I didn't look too much into him. But listen to that phrasing. Purposefully brutalizing psychological experiment. Sound familiar? It's 2004, 31 years after the alleged end of MK Ultra, and a company called Team Ninja releases Ninja Gaiden. Now you need to understand, at the time, video games were easy street. This year we saw the release of games like San Andreas, Spider-Man 2, The Incredibles, and some other trash that nobody's heard of called World of Warcraft. Games were a breeze and everyone was a champion. But then Ninja Gaiden came out and lured people in with the promise of massive budgets and gore. But then in the subtext they admitted they wanted to challenge the player's biology. You walked into this expecting Devil May Cry, but instead you cried, you little bitch. This game was ball-bustingly hard for the time. It would drive players mad with its challenging but addictive gameplay loop that would wear away at you, but at the same time, you couldn't let it go. I mean, you can't tell me that this game isn't intentionally torture. Look at these camera controls.
Hello there. Hello there.
Fuck, when you press the right stick, it goes into first person. This is psychotic behavior. I guess you could say this game was a purposefully brutalizing psychological experiment. You catching my drift? And guess who developed all of this? Team Ninja. Sound familiar? That's because I already told you that 30 seconds ago. But anyways, Team Ninja also made Dead or Alive Water Sports, Dead or Alive 5, and most relevant, Nioh 2. They have a portfolio of mind control, and now I wouldn't want to make any baseless claims about Team Ninja, but let me just give you the whole enchilada here, Joe. They're an asset of the CIA developing insanely hard games to test the limits of the human mind sanity, allegedly. And allegedly, Nioh 2 is the further extension of the mind control insanity melting tactics established by MK Ultra in the 50s and perpetuated by Gaiden in the early 2000s, allegedly. It's a game that you buy because you like samurais and you like guns and you like the bountiful character design, but then the next thing you know, you spend 2 hours fighting a giant fucking snake and you want to play it, you press through the goddamn monitor. Think about it. MK Ultra was a way to find out how they could torture people incredibly efficiently without them even knowing. Purposely brutal, testing the player's reflexes. Hard, but alluring. It's just simple as that, people. I bet there's a goddamn housewife at a CIA black site right now being forced to fight that goddamn snake until their mind's so fucking gone. They'll say whatever Big Brother needs them to say, allegedly. And while you chew on that, let me review Nioh 2, one of the greatest, most addictive forms of torture I've endured in the last decade.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. The fuck is that?
Nioh 2 is a game that I could describe as ball-bustingly hard, but ball-pulverizingly hard would be a much more accurate description. You haven't felt true pain until you've lost 18,000 souls, or 23,000 souls, or 56,000 souls. Or how about we just stop talking about this? Simply put, Nioh 2 just gets it. They understand exactly what the gamers want. Curvaceous, old-fashioned women with golden engraving and arched roofs. That tower is this guy's wife, by the way. It's a game that lets you constantly put your guard down, only to then raise it back up to an 11 because the monkeys are falling out of the goddamn trees. Not again. Not again. Not again. Let's start by talking about the difficulty, seeing as that's what the whole Gaiden-like genre is all about. The core gameplay of Nioh 2 is pretty simple. It's not hard in the way that Sekiro is hard, it's hard in the way that all of a sudden some enemy can shut off the sun and you're running through hell with a horde of demons chasing after you. It's hard in the way that they decided to add giant dark realms that sap your stamina, and you have to defeat the hardest enemies in the game to break it while having the stamina of a human bowling ball. And it's hard in the way that they put rivers everywhere, except you can't swim, and I'm not a very smart man. In a sense, Nioh 2's difficulty hinges on the economy of cheese. Cheese meaning bullshittery, tomfoolery for the uninitiated. What the fuck is that was my motto while playing this game, because never have I had my nuts crushed in more creative ways. You have enemies like this nutsack chest demon that dittos you, but if you emote his emote, he won't fight you. This hellish spastic umbrella, this stupid fucking bird. Fall damage. This enemy from Resident Evil 5, or most sinister of all, this British person. And the funniest part about the enemy pool is that what scares me most is not the giant monsters like this premature, hairless, Sonic-looking blob. No, what scares me is the ninjas, because on a drop of a dime, they'll go, "Give me a big old hug!" This ain't Hawaii, pimp. I will nuke you again. Besides, that's my move. My move. My move. As I was saying, what sets Nioh 2 apart from the other Gaiden-like games is that it also has the best returning cheese in the genre. Oh, Nioh is being too tomfoolerish towards you, can't handle it? Well, boy, do I have the solution for you. Take a look around. Notice where we are? That's right. Vietnam. And my brother in Christ call me the Rock because I know the jungle. This is just all that LSD hitting you at once. Those are VC you're looking at, not demon big-tittied snake women. As an expert GI, let me break down how to conquer the bushes for you. Dexterity and Ninjago. Dexterity increases Ninjago capacity, and Ninjago is the art of napalm, shrapnel bombs, traps, and other VC hunting essentials. Now, to unlock the GI arsenal, you need to get those reps in. I'm talking frying those VCs to get those GI skill points, because the art of napalm is learnt, not inherited. Although there are honorable ways to get those points, there's no honor in dying for them. So instead, what I would recommend is finding a shrine next to 2 potbelly goblins, acquiring 2 shrapnel, fuck it, you know what I'm saying, and then bomb, hit the shrine and repeat. Rack up those Chuck E. Cheese tokens and then upgrade to the Mega Shrapnel Bomb, and honestly, you can stop there, because the Mega Shrapnel Bomb will solve any problem you have. Whatever the hell that is coming at you, pocket bomb. Crowd of baddies, pocket bomb. Furry, 4 pocket bombs. Then combine this with the resurrection scroll on the other side of the GI skill tree, and now you've unlocked the power to barrel stuff 4 grenades into a boss, die, then go, "I lived, bitch!" Then die once again when the boss is at 5 HP. What a rush! And I'll be honest, the other reason why you should stop at the shrapnel bombs is because all the other VC hunting tactics are pretty awful. Now, what does work is the pickaxe. You all know I love the pickaxe. You all know I think pickaxe is God. So let's talk about these weapons. The pickaxe is a fine weapon of war here in Nam. As I've already previously discussed in my historical documentary, it's a disgusting weapon of complete annihilation, complete destruction. And my favorite tactic with this weapon is when I encounter a real enemy, I pull out the dual swords, because they shred those goddamn communist demons like an MG42, especially if you use the top stance blender move that I didn't even know about until I beat the game. This isn't even my footage, in fact. I got it from the guy that I chained up in the basement. Oh, did you say guns? Well, reasons number 2 through 100 of why Nioh 2 is better than Elden Ring, it has guns. I mean, Do I even need to say anything else about that? Moving on, if your fursona isn't the brute, then you're clinically insane, and I was too late, the CIA already got to you. And now I would like to touch briefly on the character design. I mean, you know, it's alright. I wouldn't say it's really anything special, but you know, it's okay, I guess, for what it is, you know. Anyways, as for the story, I have no clue what happened. Cutscenes were my bathroom break, and I think they were talking in some funny accent, like Scottish or something, because I couldn't understand a single word they were saying. I do know that, and this is a spoiler coming, it ends like this. Mom leaves, Dad too, we killed all of Japan, guess I'll go invade China now. Alright, hang on. The CCP can wait 5 seconds. I rate this game 20,000 misplaced CIA documents out of 149 MK Ultra sub-projects. Alright, time to go participate in number 150. Bye, pimp.